Welcome to Fireteam Chat, IGN's Destiny show. Thank you so much for joining us. Joining me in the studio today is CJ Gibson,
What's up?
who did an excellent job hosting last week. Good job, buddy.
Thank you. Appreciate that, man. Even put in some vault reference for you there.
Yeah, I appreciated you referencing the tweet.
There you go.
Fran, thank you for being a co-host.
Yeah. Hey, Guardians.
Yeah, and Steb, you were there also.
Yeah, I was right here.
Thank you, guys. Thank you for letting me have a little bit of a break, and it was a really great episode. On today's episode, we're going to be talking about what is being removed or reworked in Destiny 2, how the power and the climb is changing in Forsaken, the Solstice Grind, our thoughts, and the new Iron Banner, and how it's going to change in Forsaken. There is a big update coming out tomorrow. We're recording this on Wednesday, so we're going to get that during Gamescom, most likely, during our Fireteam Chat episode from there. And just so you know, Fireteam Chat launches first on IGN.com at 5 p.m. every Friday, and then the next day, Saturday at 5 p.m. on YouTube.com/FireteamChat. Thank you for watching, wherever you choose to. Guys, let's get right into the details. First of all, there is a lot of stuff being reworked in Destiny 2, and believe it or not, this makes me really happy.
Yeah, I'm surprised you could fit it onto one sheet. It's very condensed. The update
pages.
on August 9th, as Destin mentioned, was really big, and we're getting out ahead of the new update. There's probably a ton more that you already know that we don't.
Yeah, I was going through it today. I'm like, everybody needs to make sure they read this update.
Yeah.
If you haven't read the Bungie Weekly Update yet, we're going to go over it the best we can, but there was a lot of little stuff in there. Like, did you know Trials isn't going to be there for Season 4?
You wanted us to read this before?
Yeah. Pro tip.
Sorry.
You should probably read it
So
before.
Trials is on hiatus.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
Yeah.
Trials is on hiatus for the duration of Season 4 and Forsaken. It's going to be reworked. In addition, Faction
Masterworked.
Rallies is going on hiatus in Forsaken. It's going to be reworked. That's not for all of Season 4. And they said player feedback they saw was, I don't want to feel forced to participate in every instance of the event each season. Make the event progression a bit less hardcore and more engaging. So yeah, and CJ, watch it with the mic.
Whoa.
Hot mic.
What are you talking about?
Hot
What are
mic.
you talking about?
Hot mic. Speak into the mic clearly and tell us
Thank you,
what do
Destin.
you want to see?
Yeah.
What do you want? That was Andres, everybody.
Yeah. Producer.
What do you want to see change with Trials? So those were the two big ones. There's others, but let's start with Trials because that's an important one to you.
Well, yeah, so that's a very big question. I mean, I want to see a lot change with Trials, and I think the fact that they are reworking it is a good thing. People are asking me, hey, is this good or bad? I think the transition from Destiny 1 to Destiny 2 Trials, there was an attempt to make it something different. It wasn't what we were hoping for. It wasn't what I think most people wanted. So if they rework it and bring us back Trials from Destiny 1, that's fine with me. At this point, the innovation side of thing, I don't know if you want to innovate that mode so much because it worked great in Destiny 1. You know, bring it back. Bring it back pretty much the same way it was in Destiny 1.
I mean, that was the feedback that I gave. They're like, what kind of stuff do you want to see changed in Trials of Osiris? I'm like, make it like it was in D1.
Yeah, and I'm fine with them reworking something or having a different type of game mode that is not Trials. Just don't call it Trials if you're going to do a whole bunch of reworking to it. Like, Countdown, you know, and help me out. What's the other one?
Survival.
Survival. Those just didn't feel like they had the same kind of gameplay, game elements that people wanted from that kind of competitive game mode. And it sucked that, you know, they attempted something and it maybe didn't work out how they envisioned, but you have this winning formula with Trials. Bring it back as is, create something else to do on a different day of the week.
It seems like that's what they're doing with a large majority of the game, right, guys? Like, they're like, okay, we had a winning formula. This didn't work. We're going to revert, and they've been reverting.
Yeah.
And I think Forsaken, we're getting random rolls on weapons and armor. We're getting new power stuff like you guys talked about in PvP last week. One-hit shoulder charges,
Yep.
3-tap
talk about that.
headshots. 2-hit melees.
Yep.
You know, new weapon mods are coming out. And then the weapons are changing too.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's all good. What do you guys want to see change with Trials? I want to just see it go back to D1, basically. So what are your thoughts?
I'll let Steven go first on this one.
Just bring back straight elimination.
Yeah.
The fun part of D1 Trials was like, you kill someone, you know they're down, they have to play the res, and then you have a sniper or a shotgun, you can res snipe. Res sniping felt so good.
Yeah.
But since
Even just the pickup wheel, like
Yeah.
even if that's the same way in Destiny 2, that changes what the game mode is.
like
Just something so simple.
when is the
like
last
that.
time you res sniped someone in D2?
You didn't?
I don't think I've ever res
can't.
sniped someone in D2. Like, you can, because like if you get hit while reviving someone, it just resets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Just bring back elimination.
Tokens or no tokens?
Oh, for trials?
Yeah.
Well, they said they don't know what they're going to do with that.
Rep tokens.
Well, I'm asking, what do you think? No, for the res tokens. You were limited on how many
res
times you
tokens.
could revive.
I thought you meant the currency tokens.
No res tokens.
No
Nobody
res
likes
tokens.
res tokens.
Yeah,
No res
just let us do it infinitely. I like those longer matches.
Yeah, like
Well, they had the timer.
Yeah,
so basically,
exactly.
the timer got extended the more times you died. So if you sucked and you were getting res farmed, you would spawn later.
yeah, that was
fine
like,
to me.
That was
I like
part
that.
of the fun part in trial. Like, God,
Yes.
this is gonna sound so mean, but I used to go 1v3 in trials in D1. And I would just let them res over and over again. I think I had like 33 kills in one game once.
Yeah. And the weird thing is, I'm sure some of their response to those changes were from people like you doing that to other players.
Maybe,
Yeah, but
sorry.
stay down.
But yeah, exactly.
up.
But that is some of the fun things that were in trials, and to take that away and rework it in such a way that they did, it was just nobody was complaining about those things, really, right? I mean, or if they were, it was not the people who stayed with trials to the end of.
Well,
Destiny
fast
3.
revive was a problem that people were complaining, like with
chess pieces like
the helmet for the warlock,
Yeah.
and then stuff like
Alpha
that.
Loop
But they got rid of that.
Yeah.
So like, just bring back.
There's always that stuff to bounce around. But yeah, I'm struggling with trials to see like what is it that they want to change. I mean, I think for starters, the 4v4 or 3v3
That's
is
another
probably
question.
a big question. Maybe that's the big piece that they're looking at. But like, I'm with you guys. Like, just I don't understand. I'd be fine with 3. It is a pretty hardcore mode.
Yeah.
And like, I don't know that as much as at first I was excited to have 4, a total of 4 people in the match. I'd be fine just going back to the 3, I think, and keeping a lot of the same rules. So I'm struggling to see, like, on top of the, the gun balance changes, the new weapons, etc., the way ammo works now, even, I don't know that you want to change too much outside of that. Just call it a new mode, like you said. Put it in the lab.
And
Try that.
And when they do bring it back, please don't make me watch the intros every game.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that was a way instead of like hopping through people's like on
load
Destiny
up.
LT
Please,
and
please, God, no, please, no more.
But yeah, it does get a little stale. The other thing that they're talking about adjusting that we brought up already was faction rallies. Now, we actually did a whole episode where we kind of talked about how we would like to see faction rally change, and the basic point of feedback was make them more memorable, as opposed to just getting renown, going into a lost sector, killing the guy, and then getting the loot. That was okay, but it would be great to have a little bit more narrative involved. And the feedback of make the progression a bit less hardcore and more engaging seems like they took that sort of feedback to heart.
Yeah.
And I really like that. So let's talk about some of the other modes that are actually getting Eververse items are getting reworked. We will now have bounties purchasable with new Eververse notes, which we don't know how we acquire yet. That's weird. No word on how to get them. We're getting a full season of the Prismatic Matrix, which is great because we all seem to like that. And we get a free weekly Prismatic Facet.
Through the bounty.
I assume it's going to work the same way.
Yeah, it's actually through the bounty. So what it is, what little I think I've gleaned from this, hopefully I got it right, you do get like a bright engram, which either does or may contain a bounty note. Bounty notes then can be cashed in at different tiers. Tier 1, 2, and 3. Basically, you get more bright dust at the higher tier levels. I calculated it. You kind of get it was like a 15 or 16% return if you save up 3 notes. If you save up 6 notes, cash that in for tier 3 bounties, you're going to get about a 25% return on your bright dust.
Yeah.
So it's one of these complicated situations. But yeah, these notes can then be turned into bounties. Bounties have to be taken in. So I wanted to note, if I caught it for Prismatics, they're not just going to give you the free one. They got a little gate in there. Get the note, which you can purchase that one. That one is 250
with silver.
Glimmer. I think Glimmer. You just buy a note at the Eververse for Glimmer, but then you got to go out do the bounty before you can get your Prismatic, your free one. So it was nice to see them respond though and say, you know what, we are going to give you guys free ones, but you want to put in a little work before you do it.
I think I read that the free one doesn't cost a note, like it's a free note.
It is. There's no note, correct, but it's 250 Glimmer, so it's just like a little currency.
Yeah, and then the rewards are going to include new customizations, ghost projections, legendary skins, and exotic ornaments and emotes. These rewards sound great. I hope the incentivization model allows me to continue to not spend money on the Eververse, because it's a system that I haven't liked and I still haven't supported, and I have plenty of bright dust, and I'm happy with how it's been working. I've been tempted.
Of bright dust?
Yeah, I've been tempted a few times, but I just have managed not to spend any money on that system.
Did you buy all your glow?
I don't care.
Oh, well, that's where all your bright
I'm not going to support it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
okay.
Yeah.
Well,
I
but
really
you're not
put
going to
my-
have the glow for your Solstice armor.
Well,
Where's
you-
the
Oh, I
fun-
could buy it with
Fortnite
Bright Dust.
guy.
Yeah.
I'm
You
saying
don't-
I haven't spent
I
money
think
on
you meant
silver.
maybe I misunderstood. You have not. No, you don't have silver. You don't have a ton of Bright Dust just sitting around.
I have 7,000 Bright Dust.
that's good.
Is that a lot?
That's a
It's
decent
it's a
amount.
decent amount. But have you
few
bought your
emotes.
glows yet? Because to get all the colors
Yeah, I
on
know.
glow, it's going to take
I don't
a lot
care,
of
though.
finish. Okay, so you're not buying glow.
I might
He doesn't
buy
care
a
how we
few.
look, you know.
It bothers
And
me
see,
immensely. I'm
Fran-
actually struggling to understand how you could not be buying every
So wait,
color.
well, you can get them
Oh,
for free. You
man,
can get them
just-
for free from your engrams.
Fran
Yeah,
Mirabella.
but-
And then you just unlock them.
There's
and
no
then-
way to get all those glows for free, like and grind it out, right? So you got to buy it.
I bought the glows.
You do. You inevitably you're going.
Did you
to
buy
have
them
to-
with silver?
No, Bright Dust.
Yeah,
How did
so
you get
I
them with
might
Bright
do
Dust?
it with Bright Dust.
Yeah. So
I,
if you
I dismantle everything I do.
Exactly.
I literally have 2
Chips.
days. CJ is going to GameStop. He's talking about buying a laptop to play.
Oh, man.
here
but
we
like
go
I
again.
know.
we're all like we're going to Gamescom.
Yeah.
So we have a day.
Yeah,
basically to do any
real
of the
life
grinding.
is getting in the way. My
Yeah.
kids went to school this week. I'm like, oh, gosh, there's so much to do,
But-
and all these travel trips. Yeah,
But we should focus on Forsaken and all that. But I did want to bring up, like, you do have to buy, I believe, your glow and stuff now if you want it.
I don't care for it.
So Legacy Eververse, I was making a point. Maybe we don't want to see stuff like that. So, because I do feel pressured to have enough Bright Dust. I'm gonna have to dismantle a bunch of stuff. So you guys seem to. I don't
You don't.
get it.
You know what,
it's
Frank? You
hilarious.
shouldn't have bought that dumb emblem.
I'm out.
From the-
All right.
from Iron
Show
Banner.
of freaking hands. Who would like to have every color of the glow on every piece of Solstice gear?
I do.
Who would
Who would
like
like to have it and is worried about not having it in the next
Am I
season?
worried?
Okay.
at
You guys
what
aren't worried?
cost?
Am I
At
worried?
what cost?
No, I already have it.
You have it all. You have all the colors.
Did you buy it because you're worried about not having it?
No, I have a lot of Bright Dust.
You have a
I
lot
just
of Bright
bought
Dust.
it.
So you're just
I
like
don't have a ton
whatever.
of Bright Dust. I guess I'm poor.
So no, here, this is interesting because I get this from my kids all the time playing about Fortnite. They are worried about stuff going away. The fact that
Yeah.
you actually have that reaction, I think, is amazing.
I want to mine to go blue or purple, depending on the raid. I want to match.
I know, but it's
This armor.
crazy that is a component of the game that just gravitates with so many
It's-
people. And you're right. Like, I actually don't care about that stuff. I'm an emote guy, and that's about it.
The only one that I was tempted to buy a silver for was the cell phone emote, where it's like,
Yes, the way to.
Yeah,
Because you
that-
wanted to tractor
that was
cannon
really
me.
I just wanted to
He
troll.
wanted to
people.
tractor cannon me, and then
Yeah.
That one is really good. But,
But
like,
I waited and then I got it for free with Bright Dust.
if I could draw the parallel, I'm actually really bummed that I'm not going to have. There's no way I'm going to be able to do it. Have all the Iron Banner gear from season 3.
Dude, are you kidding? It's
that where
double
we're in?
Valor this weekend, and
Yeah.
like just do Iron Banner for your Valor challenge. You'll get all the gear. You can buy it all.
Maybe,
now.
but not across everyone. You know, like it would just be so much time.
you can buy it all.
Oh, that's
Frank.
right. Once you hit the rank, you can buy it.
Yeah.
on everyone.
You'll get
You
it.
think I'm gonna hit? I'm like rank like 8 or 9. I don't know. I could reach 50.
I love this.
Crazy
For the armor
For Iron Banner,
need
don't
rank
you?
10,
to get all the armor.
and then you just buy them.
Okay, well, it wasn't just the armor. There was other pieces at the high level.
You're not
But-
going to get the other
Okay,
guns.
I'm
and-
just trying to draw the parallel. There's a lot of stuff that I would like to have and just wear sometimes.
It's also, I think it's 35. for all
Tower
this stuff.
casuals.
How are you, Steven?
All right, we went off on a huge tangent.
A little bit of a tangent there, everybody. So this is actually one of the exciting things that's happening with Destiny right now. Everybody, because this season's ending and we feel like this fleeting sense that everything's going away, we're figuring out how to min-max every single one of the pieces of the puzzle,
Yes.
as CJ likes to
there
say,
you go.
including how we're going to get enough tokens for our Solstice Grind
Yes.
or enough Valor.
Yeah.
Not tokens, orbs, like energy orbs and such. So how have we felt about the Solstice Grind, about getting our gear maxed out? We start with green, you go to blue, and then you get purple, and then you can masterwork the purple. I thought it was okay for one character. I don't know if I have it in me to do another and another, and I don't think I'm going to get that level 50. I just can't do strikes that much. I think the token requirement for level 50 in strikes is kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Because they were messed up for a while. There was no incentivization to do it. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I wish that this event had came like a month sooner. I think the people looking back to everybody that I've talked to who want to get the ship, who have 3 characters, I wish it would have been 3 completions of the event, not 3 characters. Because a lot of people who have 2 Titans and a Warlock or 2 Titans and a Hunter, you have to do it on 3 different characters or you can't get the ship.
Yeah. Oh, so
yeah,
it
that's
has
right.
the
To
Hunter
get the
Titan.
ship, you do
it
have
has
to get
Hunter Titan Warlock.
That's my only major criticism about it. Like, I'm not going to do it, and I respect the people who have put the time and energy, who have 3 characters. Steven, Teddy as well. There's some people who have actually done it. So that is one of those reward things I think that is amazing that they're putting that out with.
You got to stop doing your stuff solo, man. You texted me last night.
I
You
know.
said you're doing the stories solo. I'm like, why didn't I asked you if you wanted to play.
I know, and I responded to the Fireteam, not you. And I
Yeah.
an idiot. But then PC user. But then yeah, the amount like of time and energy that it takes, I do appreciate it, and I like the grind. But I am only going to do it on one character.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes it very exclusive in that sense.
Yes.
But I hear you, man. Like I feel this pressure that I mentioned earlier.
Yeah.
To do all this stuff, it's applying a lot of pressure. What I can say is I'm not as cool about the grind just for just green armor.
That armor looks so cool. On the
It does look good.
On the
Does
other
look
side.
awesome.
This is one of the armors that I'm really
Ugh.
excited to get for my hunter, and so I am going to grind it out, but it's going to be tricky.
So if I can just lead finish that comment, which is I'm not as cool with how we have to grind out to get green and even blue, but one in particular, heck no.
Which one?
Heroic Publix and patrols. I know that it seems like, to CJ's point,
What's wrong with that one?
Because you have to do 10 and 10, and do you really want to go do Heroic Publix right now? Is that fun for you to do? It's the same thing that I went through with faction rallies.
Well, you do 10, and it also contributes to your T-shirt.
I know that. I don't enjoy it, is my point.
And you can do your orbs
I have
while
a
you do it on the
productive
EDZ.
suggestion again,
Yeah.
which is much like my commentary has been. I get that it's an easy way for some people to do it. There are other players like me. I would much rather just be going through the raid, doing fun stuff in strikes, and so maybe it's an either-or scenario in the future. If I can suggest that.
Because it's
either do this, because there's a little of that going on there, but to complete this, either do Heroic Public or Patrols, or you know what? If you hate it like I do right now, because I've done so many, go through some raids and do what is each stage of the raid called or whatever. Give me another route is the word I'm searching for. So that's how I feel about grinding right now. I am in earnest. I'm streaming when I do it. So it's it's part of, I'm out there playing anyway, but I'm just not enjoying it. I find myself saying, I wish I was doing this other thing, playing this other game.
Yeah.
I don't want to have to do that just to get some armor.
I get where you're coming from, fan. I was streaming last night doing the grind, and I'm just this is brutal. I don't want to be doing these strikes anymore. And then I started doing math. Okay, if I get all the bounties on all characters and do 2 strikes per character, then I'll have enough tokens to hit level 50 before the end of the thing. And if you don't use the boon to get the extra tokens, you have to do something like 200 strikes or 100 with the additional 5 that you get from the Fireteam bonus.
Right.
What
My
boon?
math's a little off. There's a thing you can buy from
From the Solstice statues?
is it Zavala? Yeah,
Or-
it's Zavala, right? Yeah, so you buy it from him. It's on
the Vanguard
the
boon or
second
whatever.
page. You buy that, and you get an additional 5 for everybody that pops it.
Are you
so you
talking
can get
about
up
making it to Vanguard 50?
Yes.
That one. Okay, I kept getting a little confused on that one. But to finish my point, I did want to draw another quick parallel, which was...
I'm just agreeing with you that the grind is...
Yeah.
you kind of get really down on the game, and that's not the experience we
Exactly,
wanna
but
have.
to finalize, the thought, if I look at Nightfalls, I really enjoyed speed running those to grind out and get the DFA and the Silicon Aroma.
Rat King.
It wasn't, you're playing the same thing over and over, but there was a lot of the optimize and min-max, like you were saying, and you just can't do that in Heroic Publix with much fun. And so I want more stuff like that when I'm doing these grinds. That was all.
Yeah. What about you, Steven?
So bits and pieces of everyone's arguments, I agree. For CJ, I do agree this event should have been earlier, because then I don't think we would have ran into that problem that you're talking about, the 50 thing. I do also agree having one of each character to get the ship is kind of a drag, because
That's a mess.
Because at first I was like, it should be exclusive, it should be hard, but then I was like, oh well, some people really like hunters, they have 3 hunters, they're screwed.
Yeah. You didn't know that was coming.
Yeah, that kind of sucks. I feel for those people, but at the same time, I don't mind the grind being so exclusive. I've done all 3 characters. It was not fun after the 2nd character. The 3rd character was very hard.
When did you do this? Is he playing at work? Is that what's going on? When did he finish this? No, I'm just kidding. It's
I'm
so
efficient.
much time.
I'm very efficient.
Very efficient this
Definitely didn't
at
help
work.
me.
Exactly. There it is.
But,
There's the truth.
I got the ship.
It's for B-roll for the show.
Ship looks cool.
Make sure you put the B-roll in on
Bleep.
this episode.
Oh, you said ship. I swore. I was
No,
like,
no,
Steven.
Ship.
Okay.
Ship. I don't mind rewards being so hard and exclusive to get, but I do think that just playing the same mission over and over and over and over again is a drag.
Yeah.
Getting to 50 and how much time do we have for this event? A month?
Yeah.
That was July
Vanguard.
31st
You don't
to
have
August
to-
28th.
Yeah.
You don't have to do it within the month. It did carry over your progress.
Yeah, it carried over, but for people who didn't play and want to get into it, getting to rank 50 is very hard. Fortunately, I was not in that position.
Yeah.
I was like 38 when it started.
The reason it's a bummer is because strikes were not dropping loot appropriately during Warmind, so there was no incentivization to do the strikes for such a long time.
Nightfalls.
Yeah.
Nightfalls,
Grind. Yeah, I did a lot of those, so that helped.
Yeah, but you know what? Overall, I didn't mind the grind. Like, it wasn't the best grind, but I didn't have that
For
big of a problem.
one, you do all 3.
I did all 3 characters.
You're insane.
But that's what I mean. So I will say that I've talked to a lot of people who have done all 3, and the ship and those exclusive things are incentive to do that. Now, sometimes grinding is not fun, but there's something to do in the game, and Destiny 2 has dramatically missed having a carrot to go for, and this was one of the first times that I think they've actually done something right within the context of, okay, you do so many things and then, oh, no, I just don't want to do it anymore. Now you got a reward and there's something for you to do, which is a lot like Destiny 1.
Really, my complaint is that I don't have enough time left in the event to do it. And that's mostly what I'm struggling with. So I'm forcing myself to do these long grind sessions that aren't enjoyable because I have 2 days. So
And that's like faction rallies. Like, that's the thing with faction rallies. I think people would have been much more open to wanting to engage them if they weren't on a weekly basis. Like, I think it would be nice if it was seasons where you could have just done it and then progressed over time and felt like you had something to work up towards. But you feel the urgency to do it, not that you want to do it. And that, I think, is kind of, they need to have a little bit more.
It's a very hardcore event if you're going for the ship. I would say that.
Yeah, like, and some of the bounties that you have to also chase and min-max your opportunities while you're grinding out this armor, because you can kind of pair stuff together so that you're getting tokens for the strikes while you're grabbing the strike bounties and getting tokens from that and popping your Fireteam faction things while working on your armor. So you're really accomplishing like 5 tasks at once. I really like that aspect.
Yeah. Or you're waiting for a blight on Io.
That was not good.
I will also say it's very.
Please tell me you have.
It's a very Fireteam.
now.
It's a very Fireteam oriented
Blacksmith.
Event as well. Like,
he's just been doing most of it solo.
Yeah, if you're a solo player and you're trying to do all 3 by yourself,
that's too.
Well, actually, I mean, you can't do everything by yourself. Actually,
it's not a good idea anyway, because you actually do gain. Like, if you need whatever solar kills, I believe your teammates' solar kills count for you. And those moments, you really want to optimize as a team for those things. So
that's not true.
I'm pretty sure it is.
Not with Titan hammers.
Okay, well, that was bugged or something, I think. So
they patched it, but no, you're
still not.
You got it. They have to be your kills first.
But that's an exception. There are things like that you contribute to each other's progress. So
not for the armor.
Yeah, solar melee kills was working. And orbs, that's what I meant. Sorry, they're generating orbs. For melee kills, it
you said kills.
It may not work for that. Orbs, it does.
Yeah, for orbs.
Yeah.
I also should note, I'm a little bummed. Right, when you turn in the armor, you lose it. Right.
No, it's
dump it into your vault.
It's an ornament on the armor.
Yeah.
So
you
wait,
go
blue armor I keep?
Yeah, you can go.
It's an ornament for your masterwork.
Yeah.
Or for your final armor.
Blue is.
Yeah, you can look like the ragged.
Oh, good.
Thing.
Yeah.
And so I can still shade it. My tower casuals, that's what this is about. I finally got back the blue armor that I could shade. You could do that with some of the other armor, but I really like this armor and shading it real simply. So
you can.
What's the stat roll on your armor?
The stat roll on that, nobody cares right now.
Intellect and discipline.
Real quick, I forgot to mention one thing. Meditations are also going away, so if you like that armor set, make sure you get that before the 28th. Those are going to be gone. Spend your tokens because they're just going to be taken out of your inventory if you happen to have them, and you might as well just burn them and get some either shards or try and unlock that set so that you can get it out of your collection later. Moving on, some of the other stuff that we wanted to talk about today included how the power and climb is changing with Forsaken, and briefly we'll go over Iron Banner in that segment as well. So the new power level cap, guys, is going to be level 50, power level 600.
That's cool.
6 with 2 zeros. The max we can be today is 405 if you do the raids for the weapons and you get your masterworked armor. That is cool. The investment team, here are our high level goals for progression and economy in Season 4. We want to bring back the days when you are impressed when you see someone at max power in the tower. The experience of leveling and then powering up should be meaningful. Players should have a sense of discovery when earning rewards from different activities. When players accomplish something difficult, the reward should be special or unique. Not all of the sources of power in a week should be apparent on the director. That means hidden quests.
Yeah.
And hearing this sort of feedback from the crew is really, really awesome to me. This makes me really excited for how they're adjusting in the new
It's going to be a grind. That's what I'm hearing.
No, but like they're
That's what this
incentivized-
game
What?
is. No,
That's what
but
game
like,
is.
hopefully in a good way. We'll see if all those things live. But meaning like The point is we've had some easier ways to get power recently. I feel like it's going to be a bit of a grind like it was in some previous ones. So.
It's going to be a new formula for levels.
But you have to,
I'm not complaining.
I was going to say, explain to me what it is you mean by that statement.
Well, wait.
Yeah.
Let's
remember
sure
when
Fran,
you had to. Yeah. Okay.
Let's make sure Fran has some context. So even if your power is 100 over an activity's recommended level, it should still grant a reward at least one power level above your current average. So it's going to be like the strike.
That's true. So you can get
such.
carried. Actually, will be a nice rewarding way to like get higher level stuff.
You're going to be
for
incentivized to do all these different events. You don't just have to do the raid, for example.
No,
It's
I
not
think it
gonna
sounds
be as
good.
cut and dry.
I just-
Strike playlists are getting difficulty settings of 300, 400, and 500. Once over 40 power levels, above the lower level option disappears. 500 will always be available. You're going to get for Nightfalls, you're going to be able to pick one of 3. So that should
If
be
you
great
bought all
news
the
for you.
expansions.
If you
And-
buy all the
yes.
expansions, there's
It
gonna be-
matches up with that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Meditations retired. Heroic adventures will be added to every location. They will get shared activity modifiers. And small note, but Gunsmith is going to require 100 parts instead of the 40 he recommends today.
And I forget if you said exotics will drop at your level or
higher.
Or above.
Yeah,
So to me,
that's
it
a
says-
huge change. No more 280s and whatever it is.
They're addressing like all the problems that I brought up in my last review of Warmind, of like the strikes weren't rewarding for higher. They already kind of worked on that a little bit. I like the fact that the Nightfall is not just tied to one thing anymore.
Yeah.
Reading through this update and
sounds
combing
great.
through all the little details has me even more excited about Forsaken because they're working on the sandbox.
Yes.
And the sandbox is the glue that keeps the enjoyment of Destiny together.
Yep.
So
I mean, definitely during the lull times. And what's weird is that I was trying to remember as we were coming on the show, like what was the difference really between Destiny 1 in each expansion and the power levels? Because I don't think that there was ever a dramatic power increase like that between any of the expansions.
So in Destiny 1, from launch to, was it Dark Below was the first one, right?
Yeah.
And then House of Wolves. So it was just your armor. You would just acquire armor to level up, remember?
Right, yeah.
And you would just hope your armor would drop like one power level. You would also do like a light level thing.
Yeah. Well,
And they keep reintroducing that. So it's like, all right, I got to grind to 50.
Yeah.
Do that, and then I can actually do the power level.
Because they changed it at, like, it used to be in the 30s, and then for Dark Below it was 32. Then they reworked it all for Taken King, and then they did it, you know, and the end power level was 400 at the end of Destiny 1. I actually did like the grind from Rise of Iron, you know, to the end. Like, I thought that was pretty good. You could get it from Trials, Iron Banner, raids. What else could you do? There's a bunch of things. Where I'm going with this is, it feels like we're leaning back towards that kind of a progression system, which I really, really like. Power capped, you know, the amount of times a week. It felt like your raid thing where you could only do the raid once on each character, and then that was it. This I like a lot better, so I'm excited for what this has to offer.
You brought up Iron Banner, so I'll just talk about it now. How that is actually changing in the next season is that Iron Banner is going to have power level advantages available. And this week, you can actually see what the new mode's like. Basically, it's control. And if you get a power play, it locks out all the points from the opposing team for a brief period of time.
Yep.
And then you just go on a rampage.
Yep. Yeah, it's like
I've been having a lot of fun with it.
Yeah, I didn't get to try it. You did? Yeah, it's like a 20-second lockdown or something. Then they all reset. You have to recapture, right?
Yep. Yeah. And
like
Steven, you think matchmaking has been tweaked? It's a theory, but yeah.
So someone told me the weekly featured playlist, which is Iron Banner this week.
Yeah.
There's always SBMM in there, but I could definitely feel it. Yeah, I matched 6 stacks, and like I would when you start matching players that you know on the other team over and over again, it's like, oh
Yeah.
Yeah,
You're
they're
like,
matching
something's been
some
tweaked
skills.
here.
Yeah.
That's a theory. We don't know for sure, but we suspect.
Yeah. Because for a while, there was a couple of people tweeting, you know, a few weeks ago that they had temporarily or wasn't in its proper state, and people were actually into the Crucible and playing a lot of just regular quick
but
play.
I think it's just Iron Banner. Like
So, yeah.
quick play that it's still heavily CBMM, connection based matchmaking.
Yeah.
And then obviously ranked it takes your glory rank, but I think there's definitely skill based matchmaking in Iron Banner.
Yeah, it's 2 times Valor this week and then 3 times this weekend. So if you're on that grind, this weekend's going to be a good time to do it, by the way.
Yep.
Yeah.
Did you guys talk last week about what's going into the kinetic slot and what's becoming solar?
Not specifically.
All right,
Oh,
so
yeah.
let's go over that really quick.
Oh, we were speculating a little bit at the time, too.
So here's the answer. The Icalios weapons are all becoming solar. And here are the following weapons that are going into the kinetic slot: Balagant, Shepherd's Watch, Hawthorne's Field Forged Shotgun, my favorite, Alone as a God, Perfect Paradox, the Frigid Jackal, and Silicon Neuroma is going into the kinetic slot, and the Icalios weapons are going to be made into solar because of Tractor Cannon.
Exactly.
Because you would just nuke everything.
Yep.
I think, maybe I'm wrong, but I think it's only the shotgun that's getting solared. The other ones you can still have 3 of and have each element.
Oh, and it's
I believe-
saved in advance? Then that's from pulling out of the collection.
They did
probably.
say in there, yeah. I think they only said the shotgun.
The shotgun is solar for sure, but I think the sniper and the SMG, you can still roll whatever you want. As long as you apply it before August 20th.
I may have misread then. Fran will double check my work. Yeah.
Well, here's the thing.
yeah.
I think we were actually speculating this, and we're recording early again. So if there's another weekly update after we're doing this, we have to address it, like you said, at Gamescom. Yeah, those are things that were coming out in light of just us talking about like probably our Gambit concerns and other people's, right? Tractor cannon, void weapons.
Yeah.
Those can't be in the game the way that they work, right? So that's going to be an issue.
Because you'll just melt everything. What do you got?
So yeah, no, they're definitely solar. The sniper and the shotgun are getting locked
sniper
to
and
solar.
shotgun. But SMG and hand cannon, you can have.
They didn't mention those, so those should be fine.
Well, the hand cannon nobody
that you can have
really
multiple.
uses.
So again, yeah, like what they're worried about is doing that debuff with tractor cannon and just wrecking shop with void versions of those guns.
Yeah, makes sense.
So it's interesting because I think Hawthorne's would have been made void if it could have stayed in a.
Right.
Well, right now it's in the heavy slot, so
Yeah.
they would have made that one void and melted things.
Right. Yeah, and
all the high rate of fire guns, not void.
Yeah, I was gonna say Perfect Paradox is an awesome shotty as well, and like you can see, they just put it in the kinetic slot, and they don't have to worry about.
It's gonna be weird
that
using
being
those guns with no burn.
It really is. That's what I was wondering. Not to mention, looking at it now, like, oh, it was in power, now it's in kinetic. Like, that's another psychological change for you to kind of process when you're playing.
Yeah, this stood out to me as really interesting because it's setting you up for potentially in PvP. If you think about it, like there's some really interesting guns that are now like kinetic slot. Like Alone as a God and Silicon Aroma are 2 very good snipers that you can always count on. Just, well, maybe I want to have those in kinetic.
Yeah.
I maybe I'm reading into it too much, but I think there must be something to that too, where they sort of like, this one's okay, and that's all, because that means. Well, wait, how's the new ammo system work again? If it's in kinetic slot, if it's in your kinetic slot, it does use just regular.
I don't know, dude. I missed last
special
Snipers
right?
and shotguns and fusion rifles.
Exactly, it'll use a
And
special
grenade
brick.
launchers take green ammo.
Right.
Yeah. And
Wait,
you
let me write
spawn
this
with-
down so I can have the flow chart at
The
my
point I
desk
was
for when
making,
pick up
I know.
a brick of ammo.
We'll get used to it, but
No.
the point is because it's not in that power slot anymore, you don't have to worry as much about ammo for that.
But just to
Is it a fusion shotgun, whatever?
No,
Pick
but
up
so
white
easy.
ammo.
yeah,
If
no,
not,
But put it this way: for Perfect Paradox, that was typically before in your power slot. Like there is a psychological change with what you think when you're using those weapons in the moment if you've used them a lot. And I use Perfect Paradox all the time. So the fact that it is going to change the slot, there is something to be said why it is a little bit confusing. I mean, we did go through some of it, but it does change how. It changes how your mind works with weapons.
Yeah, and that wasn't my intent. My intent was that it frees it up from using power ammo in your kinetic slot now, which is really interesting that you can have Alone as a God out there as a sniper without having to pick up power ammo.
Yes.
So, anyway, it's exciting. I mean, I love that sniper, and I love Silicon Aroma.
Yeah.
You guys have it?
Well, see, I knew he was going to do that. Like,
no,
honestly,
is it exactly like Shepherd's Watch, which I do have?
No, it's
Yes,
not
it is.
exactly like
Silicon
Shepherd's
Aroma is the
looks
sniper
cool.
that I need. Alone as a God, only 3 bodies though for PvP, so that's less of an issue. But Silicon Aroma is a great one with Snapshot ADS. That's the one that I need to get for PvP.
Nice.
That's the one that I can't get.
There you go. So,
Well, when you can
anyway,
track
about
3
that.
different Nightfalls.
Yeah, exactly.
Exciting changes.
That's everything we wanted to go over this week. We're going to be doing another episode from Gamescom 2018. Yeah, so that's it, everybody. Thank you guys for joining us in the studio. Any final thoughts on Forsaken going into this big event where we're probably going to see more?
20 days left.
Go.
20 days, you're right.
Yeah, I mean, we got to read tomorrow's update, which you guys will probably already know what it is before. I think that's hopefully something more to talk about in there. That's exciting.
Yeah, what about you, Steven?
Did we mention that we are recording this before the 12?
That's what I'm saying.
So don't flame us for not talking about Forsaken.
Reminder number 2.
Yeah.
I think it's like 4 now, so.
Yeah, my thing is Trials. I do appreciate the fact that they took it out for rework in season 4. If that means that things are going to get changed, me as a longtime Trials player, Steven probably can test this as well. We're not feeling it the way we felt it in Destiny.
When's the last time you guys played Trials?
Exactly.
I don't
Months
on
and months
PC,
ago.
dude, because it's all stacked.
Probably 2.5.
It's been a while.
I played it the first week you could get that ghost, and then I haven't touched it since.
And that's the thing. Steve and I were talking about when we played it in Destiny 1 pretty much every weekend right through. And friend, you were in the same boat. You know, we didn't play it for the rewards. We played it because the game mode was fun. And so if that is the focus for the reason why they're taking Season 4 Trials away, I obviously would want it to be back in the game as soon as possible, but I'm happy that it's being reworked.
Yep. And we also have Gambit.
And we have Gambit too. So they're looking forward to Gambit for Forsaken.
I forgot about
And
that.
that
That's exciting.
And the new endgame area with the well thing that they teased. Yeah. Whatever that is. Yeah.
I still think it's
dreaming
Tetchin.
There's lots coming.
It's Tetchin.
There's lots coming. So I'm fine with Trials taking a season 4 hiatus if they bring it back better than ever. And there's lots to do with Forsaken Windows.
Good stuff.
So.
Bring back Tower Casuals.
Yep.
Good positive episode, guys. Thank you for joining me in the studio. And thank you for joining us. Guys, until next time, we're going to wrap it up right now. I really screwed up this sound.
That's all right.
I was like,
Such a
Brandon,
baited.
no, I'm going to it. I don't know what to do. All right.
Until next
All right.
time. Always the best
here
part
we
of the
go.
show.
All right. Thanks for joining us. Until next time, Guardians out.
Man, I got you baited.